For those of you unaware, Ghost is another PlayStation Army. It shouldn't surprise you, Sony ponies. Another PlayStation exclusive is coming to PC. This time it's Ghost of Tsushima, the real 2020 game of the year. It'll be on PC May 16th. And of course, it'll have all the DLC, better visuals, better frame rate, all that shit. So if you haven't played the game and you got a PC, you have something to be, my game of the year. It'll be available on PC May 16th. And you know, the funny part is, I didn't watch the Xbox preview showcase. We'll get to it. I'm pretty sure all the trailers are in the sub box. The interesting thing about this is, like, my hunch was the reason this is coming to PC is they're trying to drum up excitement for Ghost of Tsushima again, just trying to get it back in the conversation. Because I have a feeling, it's been a few years since the last one dropped. I have a feeling a sequel's coming, especially because, you know, if you didn't play the game ends on a cliffhanger, sort of. I was like, I have a feeling Ghost of Tsushima 2 is coming soon, and they're gonna announce it. And then guess what? This article hit my timeline this morning. It's actually from yesterday. There's a rumor. Yeah, Last of Us 2 won that year. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is rumored to be announced this year. It seems PlayStation may have plans to announce a sequel for Ghost of Tsushima in the very near future. According to a leaker that goes by whatever on Twitter, Ghost of Tsushima 2 will be announced sometime this year, possibly during a PlayStation showcase in May or June. That would make sense. That's like E3 time. That's the time to announce big stuff, even though E3 doesn't exist anymore. As with any rumor, readers are encouraged to take this with a grain of salt, but this person previously did leak the specs for Horizon Forbidden West ahead of their official release. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have some kind of insider information, but it does give them a bit more credibility than they might have had otherwise. I'm always curious, like, who these leakers be. Do these be people who actually work at these companies and they just make like a burner account where they tweet out info to get clout? Like, what do you gain from this? While a PC version of Ghost of Tsushima seems to all be but inevitable, a sequel certainly seems possible. PlayStation clearly sees the game as a start for a potential franchise, and a movie is currently in development. Main character Jin even appears in the opening intro video for PlayStation Productions, which could be seen on the big screen when Uncharted opened in theaters. In that video, Jin appears alongside prominent PlayStation icon like Nathan Drake, blah, blah, blah. So just look out for it. I just played the Iki Island stuff for the first time. It was fun. Never even knew it was there. I don't even know what it's talking. I don't even know what you're talking about. Jin was snubbed. We're gonna keep our eye on it, take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like it's time. It's about time for that sequel. I just don't like what it says in this article that says PlayStation sees it as a potential long-going franchise. Do a trilogy and let it go, please. Especially because I don't know how much story they can extract out of this. What up? What weight do you suggest for a weighted vest? I found one for the low, but don't have experience with them. I don't know. Depends on your strength level and your knees. If you don't have strong knees, don't get something too heavy. You have to ask yourself, what do you think of your body? Like, a good starting point is probably like 20 pounds though. AAA game developers are frustrated with fans. They're saying, we're humans too. We're humans. You guys need to be nice to these game developers. Turn that beat down a little bit. Let's see. In the most recent installment of GameFile from former Kotaku EIC Steven Tortillo, one developer had a message to the fans about how hard game development is and reminded them that people making your games are humans too. Everything is difficult, said Ramon Russell, product development and communication strategist for Sony's popular baseball franchise MLB The Show. He spoke briefly backstage at the 2024 DICE Awards. And if we haven't done something, it's because we haven't figured out the right way to do it. We want to do everything. Russell also pushed back on angry gamers raging over games including or not including specific features. Nobody comes to work in video games development trying to make anyone angry, said Russell. We want to give the fans everything, but we can't. We have a release date. We have infinite amount of resources. So when we miss the mark, it's never because of lack of effort. The developer also made it clear that while developers aren't perfect, they are working hard to make stuff you love, so treat them with some respect. We're human beings just like everyone else, added Russell, and sometimes we hit that mark and sometimes we miss the mark. But when we do miss that mark, it's never because we aren't trying hard enough. I agree, they are human beings, and like I do feel like there is a disconnect I don't know what. I guess it's one of those things. Like a lot of people, as you get older, they're not capable. You realize a lot of people are stunted maturely, like mentally maturely. Like, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Like a lot of people are not capable of thinking outside of themselves, and it leads to a lot of nasty conversations. Yeah, empathy. Like a perfect example is a comment I saw on Hokage highlights where I was talking about. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, King. They didn't say Hogwarts Legacy is gonna be live service. They said they want to be able to find different ways to monetize their games. Hold up one second. I seen a comment on here on Hokage highlights.
My name's the Black.
It was something about the Grand Theft Auto, because what's the name's in hot water. Grand Theft Auto's publisher, because the way they're treating the developers. And like I saw a comment that stood out to me, and he was like, "Fuck that! I work a job. I work a 9 to 5. They need to do this." I was just like, "Geez, bro, like let me see." So basically, the publisher, some of the developers that work for Rockstar are upset with Rockstar because they allowed them to work remote. People bought homes 2-3 hours away from the studio or whatever, because they promised them that they were able to work this kind of way, and now they're telling them they have to come into the office. Also, they're worried about being overworked because this is a fair criticism. Rockstar is notorious for overworking. Yeah, TBH Inception. Rockstar is notorious for overworking their developers. And let me see. I think it was one of the newer ones. Let me see. Oh, there it is right there. Big Wuda says, "Working them to death. They got to understand we had GTA 5 for 10 years. Stop complaining. I work 63 hours a week." Just no fucking empathy, right? So I do think it's annoying that they milked the fuck out of GTA 5, but if I had to take an educated guess, that was the publisher. That was not the developer. The developers are creative people. They want to make new things. That's what creative people do. That was not the developer, right? Gamers are embarrassing. And then on top of that, let me add a layer to that, right? Even though it was milked, you have to keep in mind, for those 10 years that they were making Grand Theft Auto 5, they were constantly putting out new content. They did something the likes that a lot of game developers haven't. I feel like that's something that gets lost in translation. They were adding new heists, new clothes, new modes, updated visuals. They were constantly updating the game. And you niggas played the fuck out of it. Now, I don't know if you niggas know, but that stuff doesn't make itself. They constantly are on the clock. I think what it is I think a lot of people have this idea in their head that being a game developer is not real work. Like when you have like that nasty attitude towards people, like it's not real work. And what I mean is like, I'm just taking a shot in the dark. It comes across like a lot of people think game development is people are in cubicles and they're just having fun playing games all day. Gaming Karens. Was it most of the content free? What point are you trying to make? What point are you trying to make? Whether they charged for it or it was free, they still had to make it. Like, I don't understand the point you're trying to make. Yeah, it's mentally draining. Like the science of it all, the computer science of it all. Also, just the concept of being creative, trying to come up with things to please people all the time. It's almost like being like a YouTuber who has to put out a video every goddamn day. It fries your brain having to constantly. That's another reason live service games are bad. I feel like a part of the conversation that gets lost in translation. Live service games are bad for the consumer, but it's also bad for the developer. The people who are creative, it fries their brains. Having to constantly work on something, it taxes your mental. So like I get it. People want Grand Theft Auto 6. You want new experiences, but like I don't know. Like I don't think saying stuff like this, I work 63 hours, like, okay. The counter argument to that is like, okay, freaking they're actually working more than 63 hours a week. I don't know if you guys know. That's actually burnout. Maybe people don't understand what crunch is. Like these motherfuckers are working like 80-hour weeks and shit. To be fair, these are the same idiots who think coding jobs are easy. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a disconnect. I don't think people understand how hard game development is. Be like, these people they're working more hours than you. And then on top of that, not only are they working more hours, what do you get in return? People harassing you and sending you death threats because it's not exactly what they wanted. It's a crazy world we live in. Just an idea. I took a coding class. It took me 8 hours to solve one problem. What happens when you like sometimes I feel like let's say there's like a glitch or a bug in a game. Like I agree, they got to fix it, but people be trying to make it seem like, oh, they can just they got to figure out what the exact issue is. Yeah, I'm a coder and that shit is not easy. Like the only example I can give, like a real world example I remember is like being in high school. Freaking a lot of the football players used to come into the wrestling room because they thought, a lot of football players think they're tough because they tackle niggas dog pile on top of each other with fucking armor and think they're tough. So like they used to always come in the wrestling room and talk shit. And like my senior year, I was the captain of the wrestling team. And every time a football player would come in and talk shit, oh, this wrestling shit easy. This is nothing, bro. I play football. Like wrestling is like, it's a real martial art with technique. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, they would come in, the coach would put me on them. There were so many football players, I whooped their ass, bro. This shit is not easy, bro. It's like people are not capable of thinking outside of themselves. They think because they've done one thing, they can do another. And like, I can even use that against myself. Like, I didn't realize, and not that I ever thought it was easy, but like when you firsthand experience it, like I had a whole different respect for like Serena Williams and other tennis players. When the first time I ever played tennis, I was like, yo, this shit is fucking hard, bro. I could not get the ball. I could get the ball over the net because I had the power, but I couldn't get the ball over the net with accuracy and keeping it inbounds. I was like, this shit is fucking talent, bro. I seen a 150-pound Greco-Roman wrestler throw a damn bodybuilder. This shit is real. Functional strength versus fucking pumping weights and shit. Same thing for me in hockey. People don't, so the gist of the conversation is what I'm trying to get at is, a lot of times people don't respect what you do until they try it themselves and they realize, oh, this is an actual skill. Like, yeah, construction work is not the only hard job in the world, guys. There are different versions of, there are jobs that are physically demanding. There are jobs that are mentally demanding. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard for some people to understand. Everything matters. Chill the fuck out. Have some empathy, man. But I work X amount of hours. But like, that attitude is not going to make the game come out any quicker. So I agree with them. Like, yo, chill the fuck out, right? And y'all know I be ragging on these fucking developers, but I always keep it gaming. You have never seen me on Twitter. Fuck you. Fuck your family. Chill the fuck out, y'all. You gotta chill the fuck out. Oh shit. Also, even if you enjoy your job, it's still a job nonetheless. Oh yeah. A lot of people, a lot of people think it's easy to be a content creator. And I always say, if that's the case, then like a real content creator, not somebody who just reacts to every goddamn thing. Like, can you sit down and actually script a video with proper structure and keep them entertained for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour long? Can you do that? Can you implement jokes, clever ways of attacking things? Like, it's a skill, and it's like, gotta respect everybody's job, bruh. Like I said, you gotta watch people the way they be treating the server. That's always like the red flag, bruh. Treat the person who makes your sandwich at Subway the same way you treat that lawyer. Although I don't know why the fuck you're at Subway. Anyways, let me get on my pedestal. Anything computer related is not for the weak. If you good at what you do, I salute you, bro. I salute you. I really don't even give a fuck. Firehouse subs. I don't have too much experience with Firehouse subs. I don't really have too much experience with Firehouse. The footlong churro is good eats. Who had that footlong cookie? First look at the new Ninja Turtles game. Exclusive first details and screenshots of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. Oh, man. I read this wrong. I thought this was the last Ronin game. Is this some other shit, bruh? I just ate at Subway. Drop 5 subs in the chat to apologize, nigga. Hey, what's your name? YCon on Twitch. Hey, drop 5 subs in the chat to apologize for putting Subway in your stomach, nigga. You fucking up your stomach lining. With that yoga mat bread. Yeah, fuck Jared. In August 2023, Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem arrived in theaters, and to much delight of both longtime and newer fans, it was a terrific and fun watch. Just over a month after its theatrical debut, Paramount and Nickelodeon announced that publishers Outright Games and developer A Heart Full of Games would be releasing a follow-up video game set in the Mutant Mayhem universe. Oh, it's a movie tie-in game. I didn't even know this was announced. This article contains spoilers from the film. Okay. I just want to know about the game, okay. Players take control of the 4 hero turtles, each with a unique playstyle as they fight their way through the sewers and streets of New York. Outright Games tout how immersive both the world above and below is, as well as the cast of familiar faces for the brothers to meet and fight. As co-op is a massive piece of the history of the Ninja Turtles video games, players can enjoy 2-player local... Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed is set to arrive near the end of this year for PS5, Xbox, PS4. You know the graphics aren't going to be good. It's going to be on PS4 and Xbox One and the Switch and PC. For more info, blah, 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 blah. What are screenshots? Is that the only one? Or is it this? That's whack. Why are they only doing 2 players, man? I just don't understand the concept, but why are you doing a Ninja Turtles game with 2-player co-op? I guess the graphics look okay. You gotta see some gameplay. Good Dragon's Dogma 2 video. I was already looking forward to it, but now I'm hyped. It's been getting a little bit of hate because like people are like the frame rate and shit like that. It sounds like the best version is probably going to be the PC version if your PC can run it, because I think they are capping it at 30 FPS. Like I said, I was like, when I played it, I was like, I don't think it was running at 60. But that being said, it never dropped frames for me. But then again, that was a vertical slice, so who knows? Here's some cool shit if you're looking for a job in the gaming space. In the midst of all these layoffs, I think it's important to highlight some positive news whenever we get it. Capcom announced salary increases for employees this year, which include a 28% boost to starting salaries. IGN said it was 34 frames per second. Yeah, I read that apparently it doesn't have a performance or quality mode. It's running at an uncapped frame rate, meaning it could go from like 30 to 45. And that's the way it felt when I was playing it. It didn't feel 60, but it didn't feel like 30 exactly. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a random 35 frames or some shit like that. I'm like, my thing is like, my stance is always, I always prefer a game to be 60 FPS or higher, but I will take 30 as long as that bitch is optimized and does not, it better not drop a fucking frame. It better not go below 30. That's always been my issue with 30 FPS. Like when a game, and I think that's a lot of gamers, I feel like a lot of gamers have a hard time articulating this. That's the real red flag when a game is locked at 30, because then the worry becomes, well, if the frame rate drops, it's gonna dip below 30. So a lot of times people are looking for that extra optimization. From the time playing, do you have to play the first to understand the second? I didn't get to play any of the story, so I can't tell you. I feel like the worst game in the gaming space is social media managers. Imagine. Oh yes, I know from having like dinner and like lunch with social media managers for like different games. That's a horrible job. Like PR. I have there's one I was really close with. She worked PR for what's the game? What's that game with them damn little mutant creatures? I only liked one of the games in the series. It was the one where you played the cowboy. It was a first-person shooter. I think his name was Stranger in the game. What was that? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Stranger's Wrath. Yo, shout out to Megas Reborn with the sub. I appreciate it. What was the name of that series? Now I'm Strangers. I feel like that's what it was called. Oddworld. Okay. So like I know the community manager who was she used to work for, I think she recently quit like last year, but she was the community manager for Oddworld for like a good 3 or 4 years. And like, I've known her for like 10 years before she was even the community manager. And like the stuff she would tell me when like I would hang out with her, she was like, she literally quit that job because like her mental health, basically. Like and it confused me too, because I'm like, the Oddworld community? First of all, Oddworld is a very niche game. Like it's a very hardcore game. This is the most popular one in the series. But she was like, yeah, even like smaller communities like this, the way they talk to people on Reddit, she was like, it was just such putrid and vile shit. She's like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like you gotta have some real thick skin. Damn, 2005 seems so long ago. Yeah, they recently released a new one like 2 or 3 years ago. I forgot the name of it. So she's like, imagine like a larger game, bruh. So yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. The community manager should be getting, but I mean, it's what comes with the job. Just as like, is it worth it, you know? I mean, that was almost 20 years ago, LOL. Well, no. She was the community manager for the recent game. There's one that recently came out. It didn't. I don't think it was really popular. Let me see. Most recent Odd World game. She wasn't the community manager for that game. It was this one, Odd World Soulstorm. It came out in 2021. But said, look at Ronnie, same thing. I'm not gonna lie, Ronnie does it to himself. I'm not justifying. I'm never gonna co-sign the harassment. But I'm not gonna lie, he welcomes it. He does it to himself sometimes. Like that dude, he's like, there's whole compilations on YouTube of this nigga lying about shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he brings it on himself. I'm talking about the people who just get harassed for no fucking reason. Yeah, this game came out like a few years ago. 20 years ago for me is still 1980. Nah, nigga, that's 40 years ago. That's 40 years ago. Yo, shout out to Odin with the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. But yeah, in positive news, Ronnie from 2K. Capcom, if you're looking for a job in the gaming space, Capcom might be the place to go because they are boosting salaries, baby. Capcom has announced its plan to raise salaries by at least 5% on average in the next fiscal year, as well as an increase to starting salaries for graduate hires in 2025. So they're looking to hire people. The change will also be accompanied by a one-off payment to all current employees, those who joined the company from April 2024 onwards. So a bonus. Street Fighter 6 must be selling well as they probably think that Dragon's Dogma and that Monster Hunter game is probably going to sell well. They're throwing that money out there. The changes are part of Capcom's HR investment strategy, and the company said it's committing to pursuing further investment in human capital and the acquisition of exceptional talent. I like that. Translation, we want the best talent to work at Capcom, and in order to get the best, we're willing to pay the most. I like that. Street Fighter 6 was such a boom. Yeah, they say, while we up, we finna pay people. So it sounds like low-key what I'm getting from this article, if you want to work in the gaming space, you might want to look on LinkedIn. It sounds like Capcom is hiring and they're paying good. Oh yeah, Resident Evil. You're right. Them Resident Evils are selling. Capcom is up. Might pick up Dragon's Dogma 2 day one to help. The developer's been getting beat up. Yeah, that Dragon's Dogma community, they seem a little nasty. In other news, Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender was renewed for season 2 and 3. So I mean, if you like the show, it's coming. The official Twitter account. What did they say? Let's just go to the damn Twitter. The Avatar will return in season 2 and 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. My only question is, what's season 2 going to be about? Because season 1, there's some things that didn't happen that should have happened. Big Toph. More 7 out of 10. I hope the dialogue is better, bruh. We're the 45th Regiment. Oh my God. Like, I don't follow the show verbatim, but it was good for what it is. You talking about Avatar? Yeah, I think it's kind of mid. Laugh. You know what I'm talking about, Mega? Oh my God, we're the 45th Regiment. It should have been the Vince Staples show. What if he doesn't learn earthbending in season 2? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. You think they'll make Toph not blind? Yeah, we're gonna change. Why is Multiversus trending? Hold up. We're gonna change Toph. She's no longer blind. Instead, we're gonna put her in a wheelchair, and then we're gonna get in her wheels on her wheelchair is gonna be made out of gravel. Like what? We just felt like it was a change we needed to make. We didn't want to offend blind people. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, yo, listen. I don't know. I'm not in tune with the blind community, but like I would imagine the blind community fucks with Toph. I mean, they don't got too many niggas to like look up to outside of that was fucked up. Wasn't intentional, but you get the point. They don't have anybody to look forward to other than Daredevil. They got Daredevil and Toph. So if they change her, she's no longer blind. I didn't mean it like that, I swear. I didn't mean it like that. I look forward to it. Y'all know what I meant. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, and Stevie Wonder. These niggas got Daredevil, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Toph. Helen Keller. That's the top 5. That's crazy. Helen Keller, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, Toph, and Daredevil is the top 5. They don't even have a top 10. They better not change Toph, bro. We just feel like we don't want to offend people. Like, just in this day and age, it's inappropriate to like, they better leave her alone, dog. Fucking crazy. We'll see though. We will see. Oh my god. Let me see. 1 second. Watching him make Toph super serious and not funny and sarcastic. To be fair, Toph was a pretty serious character. Although she had her moments where she called him like twinkle toes. The comedy came more so like when people would make fun of her. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Multiversus. I hope someone clipped that. My question didn't make the Dragon's Dogma 2 video. I can't answer everything. I don't got all the damn answers. One second, y'all. Yo, shout out to Tariq with the sub. I appreciate it. Let's see. Why is Multiversus trending? If you're disappointed Multiversus wasn't on Xbox Partner Showcase. Multiversus. Why the fuck is this shit trending? Huh. Oh my god. 1 second, yeah. All right. And yeah, I'm allowed to talk to other people besides you. You know that, right? Good doggy. All right. Let's see. I don't know why Multiversus is trending. Let me see. What else we got here? Oh, this was fucking funny. TBH confirmed for Multiverse. What the fuck are you talking about? I think the camera angle point T-Base presented in the kid was an interesting angle. I want to see how it is at launch before I cop it. What do you mean camera angle? You mean like the lack of lock on? Apple terminated Epic Games' app developer account following their announcement of building their own app store on iOS in the EU. So for those of you unaware, in the EU, you're allowed to sideload apps now, because the government deemed it that like they're trying to block competition. So like not only do they have a USB-C port, but you can also sideload apps like Android. Now that you can sideload apps, that means that also you can come out with your own app store. You know, there's gonna be like the Amazon App Store, and it sounds like Epic Games is trying to do their own app store on iOS, and Apple don't like that shit, so they terminated their account. But I mean, this is good because it means you're gonna get more options to buy things cheaper. Yo, shout out to Incognito